back-to-back league defeats, first home defeat of the season. But are you going home disappointed? You haven't got a point after the second half performance.
I've stood in front of this camera probably about 6 times this year saying that we can't keep getting ourselves out of jail. And today that's finally caught up with us. We've gifted them, individual errors. We've gifted them a first goal. The keeper's punted one down the field. One of their players had one touch. We're picking out the back of that net. That's criminal. As a group, that's criminal. And while we're licking the wounds, we've given the lad far too much space. They're 2 magnificent finishes, but from our point of view, they're poor goals to give away. And we've given ourselves a mountain to climb. Second half, the spirit of the lads. We've done what we've been doing all season, but today we ain't managed to get the point. We ain't managed to get the 3 points, and obviously questions are going to be asked. But we couldn't give any more. We've done everything we could second half, apart from score a second goal, which is obviously disappointing. We was proud of a home record, and I've just said to the lads, we were second in the league out of 14 games, but if you lose the next 26, you finish in the bottom 5. We need reminders that what we've been doing well to keep getting these results. And if we would have played like we did first half, second half, we win the game. But we started slow on Tuesday. We played 4-4-2 Tuesday. We started very slow. We played the 3 today. We started very slow. That's mentality with these players. They think that they're invincible. But we've had 2 stark reminders now that if you're not at it for 90 minutes, there's teams in this league that are going to hurt you.
Does it show how far you've come? I mean, obviously you've got promoted, you stepped forward, you're in a tougher league. It shows how far you've come, that you're coming out after losing your first home game in 9, and you are as disappointed. I suppose it's just because you've raised the benchmark a little bit.
Well, the lads are disappointed. Realistically, we know what our goals are this year. We wanted to try and push for the playoffs. That's what we wanted to do when we set out, and we're in a very good position if we want to push for the playoffs. But if we keep letting home points drift by and we don't capitalise on 11v10 like we didn't on Tuesday, we're going to make it very difficult for ourselves. I've brought a couple of lads in to make the squad bigger because we have got some tired players. There's no question about that. I thought George came in. I thought he was excellent. He passes the ball well. He done everything that I wanted him to do. And we've perhaps got to get rest into 1 or 2 players, but unfortunately the fixture list don't let us. That the games keep coming. But like I said, I've increased the squad by 2. Now I'll have Jason Lee back shortly. Bowie and Sam, they're not millions of miles away. A couple of weeks and 3 or 4 weeks, so we're going to have to muddle through. But we've got some big games coming up over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and we've got to make sure that we don't just peter away. Now we've had a decent start, and we want to stay in the mix.
Would you say, obviously George was making his debut today after coming on Thursday. Was he a major plus point? Because obviously he got the ball down. And
I think he was a major plus point. I think the lads, he's been brought up, playing football the right way, and he looks to get on the ball. He looks to play, and he certainly weren't the problem today. The problem was when we didn't have the ball was the problem. People only see, when you've got the ball and how it is. I look at it as when we ain't got the ball, and we give them. We didn't win enough second balls first half. We give them enough space around it, too much space around the edge of our area. And obviously they've got a couple of lads at their team who pulled out 2 fantastic finishes. You can't take that away from them. But we're disappointed that the goalkeeper's got the ball in his hands, and then 7 seconds later that's in the back of our net.
Is it from here? I mean, obviously you've been on a great run, 14 match unbeaten. You've not lost at home in 9. Is it a case of now? It was going to happen at some point. It's just forgetting about it and cracking on and starting another run like that.
These are mentally strong lads. They are. I mean, you've only got to look at the way they played second half after the first half. That they are mentally strong. I fully believe in them. We don't go 14 games and then you lose 2 and you're a bad side. We know that. Perhaps people are perhaps doing a little bit of homework on us now. We was a little bit of a surprise package, if you like. But like I said, we're well ahead of where we need to be for our goals this season, and we'll keep working hard. I'm going to work harder than ever. The players are going to work harder than ever. I will still give them. That'd be easy for me to put them out there Tuesday out of 2 defeats against Hampton in the League Cup, but that's never going to happen. We will use the squad and we will use the reserves and have a look at some of the young lads who have done excellently for Joff this season, Joff and Coe. So, I'll give some rest to our lads on Tuesday. We'll be training Thursday, and we go to Worksop for what's a break from the league. We've got 3 games off the league now, and I think that's probably come at a good time for us, if I'm being honest.
I mean, there's going to be 1 or 2 fans obviously disappointed, but when you look at the overall picture, You know, you're second in
The
the
players are
table.
disappointed, the fans are disappointed, I'm disappointed, you're disappointed, of course they're disappointed, you know, we're all in it together, you know. When we win games, we're buzzing, the fans are buzzing. When we lose games, we're losing, the fans are buzzing. But the fans are disappointed, you know, we're all in it together. But, you know, that ain't through lack of effort that these boys have lost the game today. That wasn't through no passion, no pride. That was through, you know, a couple of errors and no luck in front of goal. You know, I think we've had probably 10 corners to their probably 1 corner. You know, we had a lion's share of possession. Even the first 20 minutes, I thought we started decent enough, and we capitulated when the goal went in for 20 minutes.
And as a manager, there's very little you can do about individual errors, isn't there?
Well, you know, that's not. You know, we're in it together. You know, someone make an error Tuesday night, someone's made an error tonight. We didn't make many errors for 14 games. You know, the errors once you cut the errors, the only time the errors get blown up is when you lose games. You know, we've probably made the same errors, but the lads didn't put it in the top corner like the lad did today. So, listen, we're disappointed. You know, we've probably fell away a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but it was only 7 days ago I was standing here, probably the biggest victory the club's had for 3 years. So, you know, there's some disappointed, tired men in there, and you know, I'm one of them. I'm disappointed, but like I said, there's nothing we can do. We've got to regroup. We've lost 2-1. You know, we battered them second half, no question about that. And you know, we're a few players light at the minute with the injuries, but you know, we're going to be fine. And,
So,
you know,
sorry.
yeah, we're going to be fine. And like I said, our goals was to try and get in the top 5, and we're in a great position to do that. And we ain't giving up for trying to win the league. Of course we're not. No one is. We can go on another 10-game run. We know that. We're good enough. We're strong enough. We're fit enough. And we just need, you know, cut out the individual errors and be a little bit mentally tougher. You know, when the going gets tough, like when we concede a goal, that's 2 or 3 times we've conceded. When we've conceded 2 in the space of 15 minutes. I think Gresley, Brigg, today, all at home. And you know, we've got to learn when we concede a goal, that's when a team's most buoyant. And we've got to learn to stay in the game for the next 10 minutes and find a feet, not just go gung-ho and concede another one. But, you know, there was some positives today, obviously George being one of them. And there was the second half performance I thought was a positive. But, you know, after they scored, we had a 15-minute black spot where it was very, very negative, and evidently has cost us the 3 points today.
Okay.
He answered the question.
That's right. Right. Well, then, thanks.